When a man goes silent, a lot of times he's identified that arguing with you or your type of personality leads to nothing more than frustration and pain. And for my men out there, we know that we deal with enough of that every single day as stress at our jobs and everything that we take on. So as men, we're just going to stand down in order to maintain that level of peace that we really need. Because I know to my guys out there, nothing is gained by arguing over moot points. That is the last thing we need in our lives. Men, make sure you are finding a woman that doesn't extract from your life, but enhances.
Honestly, when I will go silent on a woman, it's because you're annoying the living hell out of me. Like, you got to be able to read when someone doesn't want to talk to you at the moment, right? I think the main issue, the main miscommunication issue, is just understanding that the sexes are different. Guys need more time to think about things, and women usually need to talk about things to think about them and process them. Guys need time, and so it's incompatible. And honestly, I've never been with a woman who was annoying. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but I've seen guys be with those types of women, and I ask myself, how do you stay? Well, I think the reason why they stay is because they're just used to chaos. They're used to a woman who, no, they're used to fighting. It's just how it is. Some people were raised in that type of lifestyle. And they don't know the concept of just being silent, of not saying nothing, of pulling away, of having some distance. Because when a guy wants distance, it's because you're doing too much. You're doing too much. You're not reading the room. Or you don't even care whether or not you're reading the room. You don't care that he's annoying. You're going to talk about things now. That causes a guy to push you away even further.
This is your life. When a man goes silent, a lot of times he's
You want to know why men get quiet? You really want to know the real reason why men don't say much when they're upset or sad or hurt? It's because we actually know the power of our words. We actually know that if we speak the wrong thing, it can affect our life for years. I would rather be quiet and not say anything and allow myself to calm down than keep ranting and raving and running my mouth about nonsense based on how I feel. I would rather...
Notice how a lot of what wisdom is and a lot of what makes a man calm is a man who knows how to control his mouth. Like and his fist. It really comes down to that. If you know how to control what you say, you're pretty much telling me you have control over your whole body. Because the mouth is almost like the foundation of who you are, how you speak. So that to me is a powerful thing. What he's saying is pretty much how to control your emotions. And we make it seem like it's just being silent. No, it's really the discipline that you need to stay silent when someone is annoying the crap out of you, when someone is insulting you or whatever, takes emotional control, plain and simple. And so what he is saying is, and also what he is showing is that he's a man who has control over his autonomy.
Sort my feelings out, deal with my feelings, and then say something after I've gathered all my thoughts together and actually thought about my thoughts, if that makes sense to you. Actually sit down and think about what you're thinking before you say it. You know, think twice, speak once. It helps a lot. So just because he's quiet doesn't mean he don't like you. It doesn't mean he doesn't love you. It just means he values his life, his relationship, and he values everything that God says. You got to be slow to speak and quick to listen. And a lot of y'all are failing at that because you let your feelings get in the way of your ears, and your ears stop working when you feel a certain way. Want to know why men get quiet?
Have you ever been in an argument?
Now, I know there's some women that will say, well, why is it that men expect us to stick around when they cheat, but then, you know, leave immediately if a woman crosses that line?
Because I'm a man, that's why. If I cheat, you stay. I'm kidding. All right, no Derrick Jackson here.
Well, listen, everyone has a choice in what they are willing to deal with and not deal with.
You know, I wonder, how does he look without his beard? Can you imagine he looks completely different? That'd be hilarious.
If a woman crosses that line, well, listen, everyone has a choice in what they are willing to deal with and not deal with. And so just because some men out there may expect you to stick around, and some of it is not that they expect you to stick around, they just want you to. They just don't want you to leave them despite of what their behavior. But that doesn't mean you have to. And at the end of the day, for a lot of men, yes, it's just as it's I said it's harder for them to speak on it or tell people about it because how people will view them. It's also harder for them to accept it when it happens in their relationship. But either way, you have a choice on what you will or will not deal with. But that is just one of the reasons why men leave after many years.
I see some of you are wondering why your man gets silent when you start to communicate how you feel. Some of you are like, why does he stonewall me when I start to express myself? For some of these men, they just don't know how to go about these conversations. Some of these men have never been taught how to comprehend someone else's feelings and understand where they're coming from. You have to understand men and women are raised in two totally different ways. Men are pretty much taught to suppress their emotions. So if we're all taught to suppress our emotions, when are we having a conversation about someone else's feelings? We really don't have it till we get into that relationship. In all reality, it's the same way some women have to teach men, hey, right now I'm not looking for a solution. I know you're looking out for my best interest, but I'm just coming to you because I want to vent and it makes me feel better. Sometimes you might have to teach a man emotional intelligence. I know it's a buzzword, but some of the time, some men just don't know how to go about those conversations, and or him hearing how you feel makes him feel weird in a way because he doesn't know how to go about the situation. He doesn't have an answer for one of your problems for once.
Big boys don't cry. Stand up, be a man. Take it like a man. Hold it in, suck it up. We train men to be silent and then crave them to speak.
Wasn't he at a Diddy party? Was he? These preachers, man.
That's why we die quicker than you.
By the way, TD Jakes, where the hell are his wrinkles? This dude looked the same in the last 20 years. Literally, like I remember him in 2006. He looks the same. He just has the Moses beard now. He's about to part the sea.
Because we don't talk. We just disappear. We internalize. We just disappear. After 41 years, about 30 years into marriage, I realized I married my opposite to balance me. I was attracted to her calmness, to her steadiness, to her stability.
Do you ever wonder why men give you the silent treatment? Are you sick of men?
Yo, you say I have something against him, but let's watch. This is a random video, and let's see if it's a real video. Let's find out.
Disappearing on you, leaving you anxious, confused, and begging him for clarity. It's time to pick your dignity off the damn floor. Because on today's live show, we'll be discussing why men give you the...
Shut the fuck up. Next one.
Silence does to the narcissist. There is a reason why whenever...
This one is tough, but this one is for the ladies. You may not hear him scream out loud, but pay close attention to the music he plays, the way he drives, the videos he reposts. And the times he just goes silent, ladies. Yeah, if you listen closely and pay close attention, you will hear the screams of a dying man inside. And that is real talk.
The most powerful tool you have is your silence.
What's up with this music? They're all using the same music. Like the whole like sentimental.
You know, as I get older, why men...
We might have an actual video right now, people. We might have an actual video. Let's see what he has to say.
Give you the silent treatment. Number 3, him leaving you deaf and blind. Now, I want you all paying attention here so that you can be confused because he gets to use this silent treatment on you to extract from you whatever he wants. So let's analyze some of the possibilities of things he could be trying to accomplish when he's giving you this silent treatment, aka he's leaving you deaf and blind, because now you're really confused. You want to know what happens to you after you start spiraling? You turn into the worst thing you can possibly turn into. You become a pick Misha. Your mind is exclusively focused on what must I change and adjust about myself so that he likes me once again and treats me how he used to treat me. You're going to be thinking about how can I give you exactly what you want right now as quickly as possible so that you can return to a place of peace and happiness and start giving me the same amount of validation that you were once giving me. One of the key things he's trying to get you to feel by giving you the silent treatment is he wants you to feel like you did something wrong, even if you didn't. You can't accuse them of being narcissistic. You can't accuse them of being a bad person because all they did was give you the space to think whatever you wanted to think. But it's strategic because he didn't just not give you anything from the start. He strategically gave you something specific that he knew you were looking for at the very beginning, which is why I gave you the whole setup at the beginning. So you can understand that it only properly works when you feel like you've been uniquely served the person who was etched in stone for you. Remember, like Toy Story, the belief of that is what makes him pulling back from you so powerful and gaslights you into believing, being sure, being positive 110% that you must have done something wrong in order to trigger this response.
First of all, 110% isn't even a real mathematical number, okay? It's either 100% or not more. Anything other is getting into the realm of quantum mechanics. All right, let's keep listening.
Out of him. And it makes it one step closer to him getting from you what he wants from you without having to do anything for you in return, because he is actively trying to avoid doing something for you while simultaneously getting whatever it is he wants from you. So if that's that he feels like you're not ready to sleep with him, you got too many boundaries, you'll start to overthink in your mind and think to yourself, maybe I shouldn't have waited a whole month before sleeping with him. Maybe it was the wrong choice to set so many boundaries when it came to intimacy. Maybe I should have went over to his place and drank wine with him until late at night and slept over that time when he asked me to sleep over, because maybe that's why he's giving me the silent treatment now. The moment you start thinking during the silent treatment that, oh, maybe he's giving me the silent treatment because he's disinterested in me now because of something I did, he's won. Why? Treatment. Number 3.
I think he's totally right. I think what he said makes total sense. Now when a girl or woman cancels a date on me, I used to think that there was something wrong with me. Now when I see a woman like just cancel or disappear on me, I say, oh wow, she may have like attachment issues, or she might not like to have, like, I see it as though it's a reflection of her, not me. Yeah, or I may not be their type, but the point is that I don't blame myself. Like, I can see how if I pull away from a woman might say, maybe I didn't suck his dizzy hard enough. You know what I mean? And that makes her more hypersexual, when in reality, you just weren't his type. When in reality, he may not be emotionally available. When in reality, he might just be flawed. When in reality, he might be gay. When in reality, he might have a girlfriend he's still not over. All of those conclusions come from a place of high self-esteem. But if you continually blaming yourself without even having evidence, but a hunch, that's not good. Just because a guy's silent doesn't mean you did something wrong. Sometimes you could do everything right, and that's why he's silent. If you guys want to work with me one-on-one, go to mindfulattraction.org and book a one-on-one phone call with me, or else I'm closing the channel. Take care.